Are you feeling stuck? Are you feeling like there's something just really deep inside of you that's just waiting to come out? You know that there's more to life, there's more to this world, there's a greater impact that you can make deep inside of you, but you just don't know where to start. Well, listen, my friend, this video is for you because I can relate. Welcome, welcome. If we're meeting for the first time, my name is Melissa Kidler, and I was a former first grade teacher turned entrepreneur, and I was feeling very much just like you. And I want to share with you a couple tips that really helped me to get clear with really where to go and really gave me the direction that I needed to get back on my feet. And I'm here to inspire and empower you to do the same. So I want to break down a couple of tips that really helped. And I think it is when we talk about success, we talk about playing a bigger game in life and in business. I know that's where my passion is. That's what I'm all about. Because as a first grade teacher, I was realizing exactly that. I was realizing how much time and energy I was putting into my work with getting very little in return, on the back end. And I realized and I thought to myself, there's got to be a better way. So that's when I turned and really discovered this whole different world of entrepreneurship. And what it was for me was identifying what success meant to me, because that term, that word success, is going to mean something different to everybody. So I think it's really, really important to have that clarity for yourself, to identify, what does success really mean to you? What does that look like? How does that feel? So to get started, one of my first tips that I want to share with you is to identify what that means to you and have a vision. Have a vision with, where do you want to go? What do you want your life to look like? Because if it's moving forward in being in business for yourself, especially with creating an online business that works for you, that you can get up every single day, excited to talk about every single day, where you feel good and you feel proud of, I think that's the very first start, is identifying where you're going, really having that vision, that clarity, and breaking that down. And then the rest kind of all happens and comes into play, because I kind of work backwards, like, okay, well, what is that going to take? What are the action steps? And if you don't know those action steps right now, I'm telling you, it is okay. I've invested thousands and tens of thousands of dollars, and I've invested in mentorship to help me with this, but I'm here to help you kind of condense that time period for yourself, so that way you can really start getting the action right now, today, to start making a mark and making that change that deep inside that you really are called to make. So one of the things is really identifying not only the vision and where you're going, but also and what you want. It's really, number one step is you got to have that offer dialed in. So if you don't have that offer, then that's something where, feel free to reach out. I would definitely love to have a conversation with you. But for most people, they have that offer. So when you have that offer, when you have that dialed in, it's a proven concept, it's something that there is a need for in the marketplace. Then for me, what really helped me to get out of that stuck state, especially when it came to social media, and especially when it came to putting myself out there, I came to realize that I was a wealth of knowledge. I had a lot of skills, but I was holding back. I was playing a small game. And if I were to look back, would I be happy with that? Would I be happy if I just kept it all to myself? And the answer is no. So what really helped me to make that shift is I had to get really clear. I had to have that vision and that clarity around, okay, I have this offer. Now, who is it that I'm looking to attract? Who is it that I want to talk to, especially with building a business online? The phrase, if you heard this saying before, your network is your net worth. And I spent so much time learning the back end, the skills, the strategy, the leverage, the systems, the automation. And looking back now, yes, all of those are important. And I would say definitely that is needed in order to grow, scale, and monetize your network to places that you probably maybe haven't even thought of before, which is just really, really empowering and inspiring to know. But it was also, I was using that almost like a crutch to not show up on social media. And, if you're in that space, if this is happening to you, what I would suggest is to really start getting curious and asking yourself some tough questions, and sit there and reflect and think about, what is it that I'm afraid of? What is it that's holding me back? What might be holding me back? And just kind of journal. And it took a lot of time for me to do that, to really reflect. And I'm telling you, this journey is a process. It's not easy, but especially if you have that clear, that really strong vision of where you want to go, especially being an entrepreneur and running a successful and effective, I would say, online business. You're not spinning the wheels, but it's something that you actually enjoy, something that is authentic to you, something that brings you joy, like I said, that's fun and is profitable, makes you money. Like at the end of the day, we all need that to thrive in this lifetime, even if money is not super super important to you, or on, like if that's not your driving force. Some people are about the impact, but just imagine what money can do to create a bigger, larger impact. So what I had to do is really get clear on my wants. I had to get really clear on what is it that I want? What is it, especially with this lifestyle, in a business model that would align with my personal vision and my business vision. And then I had to get really clear, because I have this offer. And if you have this offer, if you have a product, if you have a service or an opportunity, then it's time to get really, really clear. Instead of just marketing to everybody, which I see a lot of people doing, especially in the networking industry, it's just marketing to everybody because they feel like everybody can benefit possibly from your product, your service, or your opportunity. But that was holding me back. And in order for me to show up in a way that I felt like excited about on social media, I had to really think about and get clear on who is it that I want to talk to? Who is it that I want to attract? And you think about your network, who is it that you want to surround yourself with? So I could, as you're growing and building this network, that is ultimately your net worth. It's like, who would I like want to feel comfortable and excited to maybe like go out to dinner with, have coffee with, sit across the table and have a conversation? That's when I started to get really clear and specific with the quality of people that I was wanting to attract and build a community and following from. So that would be my tip number 2. After you discover and identify, your vision and kind of where you're going and what you ultimately want, then really getting clear on, with alongside your offer, really having that clarity on who is it that you want to attract, and really thinking about, there's 5 actionable steps actually that you can think of. And I want you to think of five different things that inspire you, 5 different things that inspire you. And even looking back on maybe your life too, maybe your top 5 challenges that you face in your life and maybe how you overcome. I know that's what it was for me, is identifying and seeing those patterns. And that's what lights me up. That's what lights me up to really be in this space of where I am today, to learn and grow from those experiences and to be able to give back. So I'm really looking for those people that are just like me. So that makes it easier, especially with your message and your content, to be able to show up in a way that you enjoy, to be able to come up with content that just seems seamless and effortless because everything's already inside of you, right? Now it just has to come out. So I think that's the biggest thing. What keeps a lot of people stuck is that incongruency between really being misaligned with just having that clarity of where you're going and who you want to attract and how that aligns and is congruent to your offer, your message, and how you're going to show up and be perceived, especially when it comes to social media. So let me know if that helps you. If we're not connected yet, definitely make sure that you reach out. I'd love to know your thoughts. I'd love for you to drop a comment below anywhere around this video. And because I am here to just lock arms with people that have that strong vision, that are go-getters, that are those strong, independent, fierce, hungry, driven women that know that there's more to them, deep inside, that want to play a bigger game in life and in business. I'm here for you. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Hopefully this gave you a little bit of hope and inspiration that, it takes getting out of that comfort zone to do really big things. So today's your day, my friend. Go out there and crush it. And I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Chat soon.